Boop, boo. Let me change this around, around, around. Make sure. Oh, can
When the
anybody hear
bars
me?
change colors, it makes it.
Hey, Ladina, how's it going? Hey, Ladina, how's it going? All right, let's get to jumping in this thing real quick. For everybody to know that I was out last week, and yeah, I'm still sick for people that's wondering. But I was out last week because of the Michigan Ohio game, and yeah, Ohio bust Michigan's butt pretty bad. Uh, I did have some people come in from out of town to watch the game. That was epic night there. But all in all, everything's good. I missed 1 week out of the past, I believe, 3 years doing a video or doing a live. So 1 out of 3 years ain't bad. Uh, but with me being out, there was some crazy things that went on while I was missing in action for a week. But we're gonna try to tackle some of the things. Um, we're not gonna go real in depth into any certain thing unless people have questions. Y'all know, like always, ask questions in the comment section. Check side. Excuse me, and then we'll figure it out from there. Uh, First thing first. Uh, since it's up there and it's already on my screen, so I'm just gonna talk about it. Uh, the Trump accounts. All right, forget whose name is on the damn account. That's the first thing I want people to realize. But any U.S. citizen born between January 1st, 2025, and December 31st, 2008, uh, you can get $1,000 deposited in an account for your children. And then that $1,000 will be invested in an index fund focused on U.S. companies. But that's all fine and dandy, $1,000, $3,000. I mean, in the grand scheme of it, $1,000 ain't worth nothing. But if you compound that 0 to 18, if you compound that 0 to 18 for your kid, you can have a nice chunk of money. But the part that I like about it is you can put income deferred money or pre-tax money into the account. And for parents can put up to $5,000 a year. $5,000 a year into annually into their kids' account. So just think of that. If you could put $5,000 a year, and I know people gonna say, I ain't got $5,000 to put in it. Pump the brakes. Give me a second. Let me work. But if you put $5,000 a year from 0 to 18, your kid will have somewhere in the realm of about $175,000 to $200,000. Of course, market dependent, depending on how much the market depreciates during that time frame. And then if your kid takes it over to 18, or you roll it over to an IRA and you keep putting that, hey, how's it going, new? And you keep putting that money in there, your kid easily could be a millionaire by 35 years old. So now going to the big question in the room, people sitting there saying, "Oh well, excuse me, I can put $5,000 a year, up to $5,000 a year, into the account," and you saying that you can't afford to put it in there. You can, and I'm not saying it's some magic formula here. So understand how pre-tax dollars work. If you have the money allotted pre-tax out of your paycheck to go, so let's say it's $500 a month. Let's just use that because we just, I mean, it's like 430 bucks, but you have that taken out of your check every month. So that's what, 225 or whatever per paycheck. When that money comes out of your paycheck, it shows that you made 225 less dollars on your paycheck. So that's less money you have to pay in taxes. So you do that throughout the year, then that's less money you have to pay in taxes. So you're not having to get a paycheck, figure out all your bills, and then come up with the 250 every paycheck to put it in there. Have it come out before then. It benefits you on the tax side of it because it'll show you made less money. So $5,000 less, it'll show you made less. So you'll pay taxes on $5,000 less. If there are other apparatuses people can do and use to do this, yeah. But I'm just talking about the most straightforward one that's out there today, and that's this plan. So it ain't like you're doing anything else that's crazy. So again, that's a good question, Jay. About is he doing anything for kids already born? Uh, let's see. I just looked at it. All right, so kids that are. Oh wait, I got it. I got it here. Now you're asking some great questions, and now I got to go look through all these dang old notes here. Oh, let me see. 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 I just seen it on one of these. Now you about to make me work, but I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, here we go. Are they doing anything else for the other people that's out there? That's a good question. All right, so children 10 or under and born before January 1, 2025. 10 and under who don't qualify for the $1,000 initial deposit from the treasury, they could get a $250 contribution if they live in a zip code where the median income is $150,000 or less. So if your kid is already born and they was born before January 1, 2025, but they're under the age of 10, and you live in a lower income or below $150,000 income neighborhood zip code, then you could qualify for 250 contribution, and then you could do the same thing. All right, now children older than 12 may benefit also if funds remain available after initial sign up. So if you have kids over 10 and then the initial sign up come and then there's not enough parents putting it in there for whatever reason, because Trump name on it, I don't want nothing to do with it. Oh, I don't like the government. I don't want nothing to do with it. Or people just don't know and ignorant of what's going on and they don't do it. Then they will change the availability for kids over 10 if we don't get enough signups in that time frame. So that is, and I'm just reading what I see here. So I'm not making it up as I go. I'm just reading exactly what it says here. Uh, and that's from the Dell Foundation. And for people that don't know, Michael Dell out there in Texas, him and his wife donated, I think, 6.8 or 6.2 billion dollars towards the fund to give all the kids money in their account to start, changing, the narrative and building a way and showing parents a way that they can build their kids' financial future. And like we always talk about on this channel, upholding that promise you have to your kid that they're going to have a better life than you, or you're going to make sure that they make it. So this is opportunity number one to make sure that happen. So yeah, that's what's really going on. And understand, the one for kids that was born January 2025 or later after January 2025, there's no income limit on that. There's no income limit on it. So just want to throw that out there. That's something that's going on out there. The other thing is uh, I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. And again, excuse me, I'm sick. Part of the big beautiful bill. Taxpayers can deduct up to $10,000 in interest paid per year. Interest paid per year. Eligibility. The deduction is above the line deduction, meaning you can claim it even if you take the standard deduction on your federal tax returns. Now here is some criteria to it. It must be a new car, truck, SUV, minivan, or motorcycle, not used or leased. It must be for personal use. Its final assembly. Here, let me say this again. its final assembly must have been in the United States. So I'm just thinking right off the bat, Toyota Tundra, Toyota Tacomas, their final assembly is made right there in San Antonio, Texas. Their final assembly must have been in the United States, and you're eligible for it. So if people didn't know that, Jay, yeah, you can go have a new kid if you want to. I ain't having no more damn kids. Forget that. But I got a granddaughter who can get the 250, so I'm gonna share that out there. And my son, I think he's watching, so tell him to go get that. And it's just another account that's set up that we can set up and set her up to have, you know, a better life, to do what she needs to do. Hopefully she do the right thing when she get older. But that's what we hope for all our kids, that they do the right thing when they get older. But can't say they don't have the opportunities. But you can't sit here and bitch, moan, and complain about your kids when, thanks, I do look like Uncle Phil, but you can't bitch, moan, and complain about what your kids did or didn't do when you didn't set them up for the best possible avenue for success. So, but yeah, so that's out there. So final assembly there. So that's another tax write-off. So between the one I just said about the Trump accounts and then this one, it's a lot of tax write-off benefits that I see going towards the middle class. And what it is again, these are laws. These are in the tax code now. And then, so the same quote unquote, y'all call them loopholes, but I just call them the law, that y'all say that the rich only get, which is not true. The law is for everybody in the United States. Now the people in the middle class and the lower class get ability to take advantage of some of these write-offs also. And I can't tell you, I mean, I've been yelling up and down saying, stop buying, stop spending money, stop spending money. But people still want to spend money. But if you're going to spend the money, do it smartly. Do it smartly, and let's figure that out and get that under control. At least get some tax benefits, tax write-offs for some of the things you're doing. And this gives you a better avenue to do it. I don't know, Jay, this is free, nothing you have to sign up. You got to do to sign up. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about the vehicles or the kids account. The kids account you do have to sign up for. The tax write-off is something that's already in the system, and you just have to get that done. But again, it has to be a new car. It has to be a new car, truck, SUV, minivan, or motorcycle, and it cannot be leased, and it cannot be used. So that's out there. What else we got out there? Some other things that's going on in the news. For the people that weren't paying attention last night, they probably was getting drunk because it was a Friday night. You know, nobody's paying attention. Netflix just put a bid in to take over Warner Brothers Discovery for $272 billion. Will it be regulatory hurdles to get over to make this deal close? Yes. But if Netflix is able to close this deal and buy Warner Brothers for $72 billion, where do you think they're going to get the $72 billion? I mean, they're going to have $72 billion to close this deal, but how do you think they're going to get the $72 billion back? So yeah, so be prepared for increases in Netflix subscriptions. Be prepared for other add-ons and add-offs and things like that. Get prepared for more ads in movies and TV shows or what have you. Get prepared for they're probably going to add a third tier to it to get more price movement in there. But think of the portfolio that Netflix is adding. I'm just talking from an investor standpoint. I'm not talking about from a consumer standpoint. Everything that's under that Warner Brothers logo and Discovery logo, especially for y'all people that like the ice truckers and all that other stuff, you will have, now you have more up under the umbrella of the Netflix of the Netflix portfolio, excuse me, if that deal gets to come through. So we'll see how that turned out. I think this deal won't get done until the later part of 2026, especially with the regulatory concerns around it. But just be prepared, especially if you a subscriber to Netflix, if you're an investor in Netflix. I mean, they had a hell of a run. long as they able to pass off and get a good ROI off that $72 billion with the addition of Warner Brothers Discovery, you're still in a good place. Netflix did do a 10-to-1 split. So if you're looking at Netflix shares right now, it looks like they're like $90 a share. Wait, I'm saying if you look at them, I can look at them right here. So yeah, so Netflix is at $100 a share right now. So that's where it's at. But again, they did the 10-for-1 split, so now they have over 4.25 billion shares outstanding. But the valuation is still a valuation. The market cap on Netflix is still a shade under $500 billion. So $425 billion is the market cap on that. So that's what's going on there. Let me get that out the way. Another thing that's going on is SpaceX. SpaceX, they had their second round of share offerings or share sales. And then if they sell all the shares at the price point that they want, that will bring the valuation of the company to $800 billion. SpaceX plan on going public 2026. 2026, SpaceX do plan on going public, and I think it will go public at least $1 trillion valuation. This will be the first company to ever go public on a $1 trillion valuation. If it do go public, then I think that's where it will go. Unless something crazy happened, the economy collapse between now and the IPO or something like that, which I don't see. But yeah, I think it's gonna go $1 trillion valuation on that one. Excuse me. So that's out there. Remember, put all your questions and comments in the chat section. I will get to that. What else we got here? Let me see. All right. Now, we talked about this many moons ago. We talked about buy now, pay later. It was just a fancy way to say the layaway program back in the 80s and 90s. A survey just came out by PayPal. Half of the holiday shoppers on the survey said that they will use buy now, pay later. That is causing just a lot more risk in the system. So we seen that the holiday numbers came out, and then people spent more dollar-wise this year than years previous. But if you looked at the units sold has went down about 2.5%. 2.5%, some people say 5%, but it's about 2.5% it went down on units sold. But the thing is, people ain't using cash to do it. They're maxing out credit cards to do it. This new buy now, pay later that we had in the last 2 or 3, about 4 years now since buy now, pay later really came out, the firms and what have you. This is just borrow money. The question is, how are these companies going to get paid back? I mean, I know it sounds good. Oh, yeah, the people are going to pay it in monthly installments. Oh, yeah. It don't take a rocket science for that, but we not in $1.5 trillion or $1.7 trillion in credit card debt because people paying stuff back. So now there's just another avenue that just gave people money so they can go spend, and then the first thing people gonna bitch, moan, and complain about is, oh, my credit bad or my credit messed up. And then self-inflicted wounds. We keep putting ourselves in these self-inflicting situations and then we want to blame everybody else. It's everybody else's fault why we did what we did. You don't have the money, don't spend it. I know people gonna say, oh, Kirby, yeah, well, it's easy for you to say because you got the money. So, and I still don't spend it. So when I'm telling you, everything that I'm telling you is what I actually do. Don't spend it. If you got bigger goals, better goals for your life, and you got stuff that you want to take care of or need to take care of, why the hell are you maxing out credit cards? Why you buy now, paying later, just for some gifts or BS that kids won't even remember what it is by January 3rd? But I'm not going to tell anybody to do what I do. I'm just putting it out there. Buy now, pay later. That's done. Crypto. Crypto, we've talked about this many a times. I only deal with the big ones. Uh, I deal with the big ones, and when I say the big ones, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then XRP. That's it. I don't know nothing about none of the other fancy coins, the meme coins. I don't know nothing about that. I mean, there's articles out here. One coin went up 2,600%. Then it crashed. It was 86% of it was wiped out. It crashed. And then now people's life savings is in these coins. I've never said, I never told anybody to jump into anything other than, and this is what I do, is in the big ones. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I just don't have enough knowledge base. I don't have enough bandwidth. I don't have the capacity to even understand what all these other coins are doing. I just don't. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I'm smarter than the next person or not. If I don't know, I don't know. And I don't know nothing about what these coins are doing. What else out there? All right, so let's get, before I get to the meat and potatoes of this, let's see what we got here in a chat. So Jay, when you said is it going on from now on or until it runs out, this for the kids, it ends when Trump is out of office, December 31st, 2028. That's it. So if you want to go there and go have a quick hot 20 kids on me right quick, then yeah, you can go do that and take advantage of that. But besides that, no. And then for and then of course this always can keep getting extended, keep getting extended, keep getting extended. But right now it ends when Trump is out of office, 2028. So that's how that will play out. What else? Thanks for telling me I look like Uncle Phil. Nope, you don't have nothing to sign up for. Jay said that for the kids. Yep. No, yeah, for the kids is what I said. Is there a link or website you can share for those that want to sign up? I personally won't be having any more kids. I think Terran Horsey Line is gonna have like 6 more kids in the next 2 months just to take advantage of the $6,000 he can make. But the website I can look. Give me 1 second. Actually, the website is not even created yet. I don't believe, but give me 1 second. Yeah, no, the website it's gonna be on the Department of Treasury website, but the link is not have not been created. I think it will be created by July of 2026, I believe. Don't take my word for it. Keep looking and all that other good stuff. But that's what some of the articles are saying out there. But that's how that's going. So, but the website is actually not have been set up yet for the sign on to happen. In the news, the Trump administration revised the list of holidays by removing Juneteenth and MLK as holidays that allow free admission to parks and national parks. Man, I don't know. I don't know if Trump did it or not. I don't celebrate holidays anyway, so I really don't. I really don't care. But I don't know. But I don't think he did. I said I don't think he did, but I don't know anything about that. That'll be a quick Google search to see if that could be done. Do you think it's a good idea to buy your kids Christmas gifts? Somebody said that. I love the question. I love the question. For people that's been following this channel, y'all already know the answer. I have not bought my kids anything. Well, my youngest kid has never seen a Christmas gift a day in his life. For me, I mean, of course, some people that may know him probably sent him a gift or something like that. But I have not bought my kid a Christmas gift. My oldest son, I think, at around 6, 7, and he can get in and chat and correct me. I think that's when I stopped. I told him I'm not celebrating holidays no more. So we're not doing that. And for the life of me, I don't know why y'all parents are scared of y'all kids, thinking y'all kids gonna beat y'all up if y'all tell them no. But I hear that a lot. People, I'll be like, no, I don't celebrate. Oh, my kids will kill me if I don't celebrate their birthday or holidays. But whatever. Maybe you just think that you're you're doing something great, or you're holding a tradition, which is fine. I mean, to each his own. But no, I do not buy my kids anything for Christmas uh, or holidays or anything like that. But my kids know that they can call me any day of the week and get whatever the hell they want. So, but it took me years of not doing that when they was younger. So now they can call me to get whatever they want. It's a yin and yang to that. It ain't no, oh, I can just wake up today. I didn't celebrate Christmas yesterday, but now I can just wake up today and buy my kids everything I want. No, it was years stacked along, stacked along, stacked along, putting my money in the right places that my kids can call me if they need anything, and I can be there to help them. But again, I mean, I've talked to many parents, and they think the kid gonna shank them in their sleep or something because y'all y'all don't have the ability to say no or what you're not gonna do, and I just laugh at it every chance I get. Uh, and it's the funniest thing on earth. Then of course they want to just come at me. Oh well, it's good for you because your kids was born into it. No, I had one kid that was born into it. We had one kid that wasn't. When I said we weren't celebrating, he didn't bitch, moan, complain, ask why or nothing. He was like, okay. And then we went on about life. It wasn't no discussion. It wasn't no powwow. It wasn't no vote. Just we ain't doing it. Imagine how that worked. Being a parent, you tell the kid what to do. But this generation, the kids tell the parents what to do. And I'm not trying to, I mean, like I said, my kids they can call me any day of the week. So, I mean, I ain't sitting here being a dictator or anything like that, but I know what makes sense. And I've seen how many people, like you just seen in the buy now, pay later article, where half of the people that's going out there buying can't even afford to buy it, but they doing it for ungrateful ass kids in the first place. But y'all spending all this money and then want to complain about the kids, and then you're going to spend the rest of your life paying the money back. Why? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But Siri, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I think it's Siri RB. Yep, you're right. I'm not buying my kids nothing for Christmas. Do you think that you should get your kids Christmas gifts? Because I remember you said that kids won't remember. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm not buying my kids a damn thing. Uh, oh well, you said most people. Well, Santa ain't real. I mean, if y'all want to know the question, he said, yeah, most people buy their kids stuff to enforce the belief of Santa. Again, you got people that don't live in your house dictating and telling you what to do, and then you just follow along and do it, and then the credit goes to some fat dude in a white suit for all the work, dedication that you had to put in to make Christmas happen. Imagine that. Imagine that. So you do all the work, and then somebody else get the credit for it. Look what Santa brought me. Come on, man. Y'all got to do better. But yeah, that's that's what I do, guys. Now I'm gonna tackle this thing here because it's funny to me. I think Cat Williams hit on it, and I know me talking about Cat Williams something crazy. But Cat Williams hit on it when he said he was talking. I guess he had a Netflix special. I didn't watch the special. I seen one clip, and it was just something interesting to talk about. Woke. Back in my day, now I sound like an old guy, right? But back in my day, when somebody was woke, it meant somebody that was well read, somebody who did a lot of research, somebody that found something that went against the social norms, facts that went against the social norms that people believed, and we just held it. That was a social norm in the world. That's what a woke person was when I was coming up, you know. But we fast forward to today, woke is just an emotion. Woke, it don't even have to be true. It's just how you feel. Oh, I'm woke. This is how I feel. And you believe everybody should feel that way too. That's not woke. I mean, you just still damn sleep. Because it's funny to me. This is the funny thing. all the quote unquote woke people, they woke about everything that's going on in the economy. They woke about everything that's going on in politics. They woke about everything besides what's going on in their house. They're in a coma when it comes on what's going on in the house. You can tell me everything about the budget. You can tell me everything about what the Treasury Department doing, but you can't even tell me how to balance the checkbook in your own house. It's very funny. We done took this word woke to a whole nother level, and then now that's why the word woke is a derogatory term in most circles, is because we didn't change what it is. That's what it is. We changed what it was. Woke used to be person that was well read, person that did a lot of research, studied. Nobody ain't even reading today. They ain't picked up a book in 20 damn years. But then they want to say, stay woke. Man, sit your ass down. Sound like damn fools. And then you wonder why nobody pay attention to you. You wonder why you're so woke in your beliefs and nobody else is following along. Because y'all basing everything off emotional, how you feel. Damn how you feel. Facts or nothing. Facts or nothing. That's it. So, I mean, I just found it funny that, you know, he mentioned something about woke and he trying to bring it back and stop making it a derogatory word or whatever. But I think the name of the thing was woke folk or whatever. But I love the idea of people being woke of what I was born and raised to woke was. People that's well studied. People that's well read. People that's actually going to do the research and find facts and then present facts to educate the younger generation and the generation that they're in. But these woke folks today, they ain't reading the damn thing. They probably ain't even read Cat in the Hat before. But now they won't. They know everything in the Constitution, the preamble. They know everything. That's why everybody laughing at them in the streets. That's why they get no traction. Because nobody wants to deal on facts. Everybody wants to deal on emotion. And I'll say it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it 500 times. Tell me a time when you made a decision based off emotion and it was the right thing to do. Let that sink in and let that marinate in your soul for a little bit. God gave you a brain and a heart for two separate reasons. Everybody want to think with this thing right here instead of this right here. That's why we make millions of stupid decisions. Trust me, I done made 10 million stupid decisions. That's why I say what I say. Tell me a time you made an emotional decision and it was right. It might feel right at the time, but at the end of the day, if you use logic or you pragmatic about it, it made no sense at all. Let's see what else we got in the comment section. Somebody said I sold them something behind a dumpster. Okay, that's cool. Thanks for putting that out there. No, but I guarantee you, depending on what city you was in, I probably knew somebody who probably who was selling it, but it wasn't me who was selling it to you. I tell you that. Let's talk about other things that's out there. And this is the last one that I want to talk about. Introduction into the S&P 500. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. Introduction into the S&P 500. There was 3 companies that was brought into the S&P 500 yesterday, and then now I can't even find them. One was Canva. One second. Okay, yeah. All right, one was Canva. The other one was Comfort Systems. Oh, no, Carvana, not Canva. It was Carvana. I said Canva. Canva is the thumbnail thing. But Carvana. Carvana was one. Comfort Systems USA was the other one. And PRH was the third one. Those are the three companies that got introduced into the S&P 500 yesterday. It will happen on the 19th of December. If you look at all of those, and I'll give you the ticker symbols. The ticker symbols is CHR. No, it's CRH. Sorry, CRH. The other one is CVNA, and Comfort Systems is FIX. If you look at the aftermarket of all those, if you look at the aftermarket price of all those, you see that they skyrocketed. That's in Canva. It was up about 9 or 10% after the close. It was SoFi did have a long shot of making it, but I figure they'll get introduced on the next iteration, probably sometime in March or July. They will get introduced to the S&P 500. But so congratulations to anybody who was holding those individual stocks that was out there. Excuse me. Just wanted to point that out. As far as the market go, we sitting here S&P 500. Wait, I'm trying to get to it. Computer's running slow. All right, Dow Jones sitting at 47,954.99. I believe the Santa Claus rally, and I will say it again, I believe the Santa Claus rally will take Dow Jones to 50K. Now, will it stay there and probably reverse around? Probably. S&P 500, 7K to 7,500. NASDAQ to 25K. Now, do I believe the market is overvalued? Yes. The market is overvalued, I believe, but that don't mean anything. And just because I believe something, let me tell you where my money's at. So my money is really where I believe. So I have lowered the distribution or the contribution that I put into my just regular mutual fund accounts, retirement accounts, and stuff like that. I've lowered the the distribution I put into them. I was at 100% putting it in there until a couple weeks ago when I told y'all I trimmed that in half. So I cut it by 50% of the distribution that I was putting in there. I have went money market on some of my stock holdings. I just went money market because I just think the valuation is just too egregious, and I just got rid of it. So I got money sitting there in a money market account. But the question is, people saying, "Oh, you think the market is undervalued? Why are you not shorting the market?" Because I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. This market can stay being irrational or irrational for a longer period of time. If I was 100% sure that the market was crashing tomorrow, then of course I would take my distribution down to zero. But I've seen it many a times, especially with this administration office. They pull another rabbit out the hat, and then the market just keep going higher. I still want to take part in the upside, but I want to protect myself some to build cash on a downside move that I can, get to invest at a lower price. And never know what happened, and I'll have more cash into the side if something catastrophic happens. Never know. Might be some movement in some other markets that I could take advantage of. So that's how I'm protecting myself on the market front. So just letting y'all know what I'm doing. What else we got here? I'm feeling guilty. Me and my friends used to have. Oh my God. We used to have frog balloons. We sent the little green shot into space. All right, that was a good one. All right, thanks, Billy, for talking about my eyelashes. When companies get introduced, do others drop off, only making it truly a top 500? Jay, that's a great question. The S&P 500 is about 503 companies. Yes, when new companies get added on, they'll or it's 3 companies falling off, like you said. I don't know the 3 companies that are falling off, but I can try to tell you which ones they are. Give me a second. Or they probably haven't announced which one's coming out. Nope, they haven't said which one's coming out. But again, even though they mentioned these 3 stocks, they don't go into the S&P 500 until the 19th of December. And the reason why these stocks are going up, so what this does is when a company goes into the S&P 500, it forces all the mutual funds, all the ETFs, all of everything that mimics the S&P 500 or copy the S&P 500, it make it mandatory that they got to buy shares of that company. So it will be a flood of shares of these companies being bought between now and the 19th of December, so it will align with the index. So that's why getting introduced to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 mid cap, or when any individual stock goes into one of these indices, that's why it's a big deal. Of course, S&P 500 is the biggest one out there, and I believe Canva, if I'm looking at this right, Canva went up, yeah, it went up 9.81% after market after it was announced. So the price was $3.99. Now the price is $4.39, and it will be more buying going until the 19th before this stock is actually 100% into the S&P 500. But when they announce what companies are leaving out, that will be some downside to those companies. It will be a little sell off, but it's companies that left the S&P 500 and they continue to rally on for years and years later. So don't think that if you have a company that exits the S&P 500, that's just mean doom and gloom for them and life is over with them. That is not what it means. But with all that being said, Jay, those were great questions. I do like the questions from Siri RB. T, thanks for your questions also. And it's a lot of more good questions in here. But thanks, Jerome for reals, for saying I look like Uncle Phil. I appreciate that. But for everybody, y'all have a good one. Please like, subscribe, share the channel. And then we get back to our weekly routine. Get your questions ready and let's have some fun. Y'all have a good one. And don't forget to hit the like button on this video before y'all get out of here. Y'all have a good one. Have a great day. Talk to you later.